All right. So, I'm gonna do some more plots, but we're gonna do something a little bit different here. I'm gonna plot instead of movies. I'm gonna do music videos. So, I picked out a few ooh, ooh, music videos that I know pretty much everything that goes on in these music videos. So, I think I have about four of them. So we're gonna do four. The first one I'm gonna do is "Roundabout" by Yes. Now, fortunately, they don't have like an official music video, but there is a live video that I know about when they played at the Roundhouse in London, or maybe it was the Rainbow Theater. It was one of them. And this was on their Yes songs tour back in the 70s. So it starts out with the camera pointing at Steve Howe when he's playing the opening guitar part, which is usually played on an acoustic. But during this concert, he was playing that on an actual electric guitar. And then and the spotlights come on, and all the other members of the band start joining him. And Steve Howe is doing harmonics on the guitar, while Alan White on the drums and Chris Squire on the bass and Rick Wakeman on the key is joining him and start playing their respective instruments. And then John Anderson walks in with the vocals and begins to sing. And then the camera points in on Rick Wakeman as he starts playing the Hammond organ. Then the camera points in on Chris Squire as he walks in with the Rick. Then we get a aerial view of the a band showing all the members playing. Camera points at Rick again. And then the camera starts to point at Steve Howe again, and as he begins singing in background vocal, while Rick Wakeman and stretching two of his hands over to multiple keyboards, one of which I believe was the Hammond organ, and I don't know what other keyboard it was showing because it didn't show a clear view of it. John Anderson is still singing. Then we see Steve Howe again as he begins to shred. Then the camera looks at Chris again, and while he's playing his Rick bass. Then we see Steve and John again as they're singing and playing. We see Rick again playing his organ. Then we see John again singing. Then as the guitar solo comes in, we get to see Steve Howe as he performs his solo. We get a good look at Chris Squire as he follows Steve. then the lights dim again, and Steve Howe plays what he started with at the beginning. All the while, Rick Wakeman is playing the Hammond, and which weirdly sounds like space music. He turned the Hammond and to a setting where it sounds like space music. After that, John starts to faintly sing, and Rick is playing what sounds like mellotron flutes. Then Rick goes nuts with the Hammond organ and performs an organ solo, which is like the best part of the song. Because everyone loves Rick Wakeman and his use of the Hammond organ. And while all the organ solo is happening, Steve Howe is playing his own stuff on the guitar. After Rick Wakeman finishes the organ solo, we see Steve Howe again as he's shredding on the guitar, and then John comes back with the vocals. We see Crit Esquire again. We get a few looks at Alan White on the drums. They didn't show him. They didn't show him much in the video. Aside from the aerial view of the band, and when they got a close look at Alan. And next thing you know, the song ends, and that's it. It's a really good song for a song that's like 8 minutes long. But there's a lot to see in that video. That's as close as like anyone can really get to a Yes concert these days, especially if you want to see them as younger members. All right, my next music video I'm gonna apply is Santeria by Sublime. So, it starts out with Bud, Eric, and Louie sitting on a couch. Louie turns on the television, and on the screen is Eric, Bud, and Louie walking in like a desert setting. Then they set at a camp somewhere, and that's when the song really starts. When Bud is playing some bongos, Eric is playing an acoustic bass, and Louie is just sitting alongside them. And then Louie starts to look up, and you can see the ghost of Bradley Knoll, because I do believe they made this song they made this music video after Bradley had died, so that's why it showed his ghost in this music video. The next morning, Louie, Bud, and Eric are walking through some Wild West town, and everyone in the town is like taking cover when they walk by. But then, and the three look behind them, and behind them is none other than Tommy Lester Jr., who I think half of this planet may know as a big guy named Debo. I keep forgetting where that name comes from. But I know Tommy Lester Jr. said Debo. And in the music video, he's just this big scary guy that scares the three into a saloon where Bud and Eric are performing on the stage. Bud, of course, playing the drums, and Eric playing the bass. And Eric was playing an upright instead of a handheld. And then El Sancho walks in and Louis he covers his eyes. And Sancho walks over to a table and starts to play cards with a couple who was playing already. And then Louis walks over and stands alongside Sancho. And then Sancho goes nuts, grabs Bud and Eric and tosses them out the window, with Louis not far behind. The next thing you know, Louis, Bud, and Eric are standing in what looks like a high noon Mexican standoff against Sancho. And the dame living above the saloon walks out and puts a little clothing over Louis. And Louis runs over to Sancho, and he proves to be nice. So, he rides off with the dame, and Louis, Bud, and Eric tow them off. And I'm glad they showed Bradley's ghost in this video. They showed him on the stage while all Eric and Bud were playing, and you can see him playing his signature guitar. They also showed outside when they were in the Mexican standoff. Yeah, it's such a good music video and a good song. Alright, next one is This Ain't a Scene by Fall Out Boy. So in this music video, it starts out when they finish their song Dance Dance. Like, it starts just as they finish with a Dance Dance. Then they walk off the stage, get past the press and get in the car. Then the camera shows them playing in a studio that looks like it came out of the hood, considering how many black people I see in this scene. And the band is playing their song. Patrick's singing, and Andy is playing the drums. Joe is playing what was at the time a blue Washburn guitar, and Pete, of course, playing his signature Squier or precision bass. And then when the chorus rolls around, that's when it starts to get crazy. Pete is like spinning around like a madman while playing his bass. Of course, Joe doing his doing his crazy jumps, and Andy he constantly banging in the drums between the snare and the ride cymbal. And they get kicked out after they get a little bit too crazy. It's cool how in the video it shows them performing in different settings. There was the there was the Hood Studio. Then and it shows them playing in some sort of hotel. It looks like they were throwing some sort of emo party. Then it also shows the band and coming over to some sort of pool party. And Pete looking like he's like modeling or something. He unbuttons his shirt and shows off his signature symbol. Oh, this like bat heart. The chorus rolls around again, and they just like wreck the hotel room. And then after someone jumps on the bed, and Pete falls out the window. As they pronounce him dead in the music video. Patrick is walking around on staying in the Brit. And there's other people in the music video that people may recognize, like the Moose guy from the Sugar We're Going Down music video. And Pete opens the door of the coffin, and it revealed to be a nightmare. And that was as when they were in Des Moines in the early 2000s. And they're late for a performance. So they get over to the venue, and the song continued. It was all the way to the end. And while they perform on a stage that looks like it came out of a school auditorium. Then the song ends with what looks like Pete jumping off a table and into the crowd. It's like he was trying to do a stage dive. Alright, now my next one, or my last one, is Smooth by Santana. So, it starts out with Rob Thomas walking in what looks like the streets of Harlem. Like, I can tell by that atmosphere. It looks like it gives off Harlem vibes. Then the song starts and you see Carlos Santana with his signature PRS guitar, and Rob alongside him singing. Then it shows the whole entire band and performing outside like street performers, and Rob holding his microphone and singing away while Carlos is playing around on his guitar. And then the chorus rolls around, and that's when people start to notice, and they begin to dance, just like what people want to see when they're doing street performance, and people start to dance for them. And these people were like getting into the groove of considering the rhythm that Carlos Santana was playing and the vocals Rob was using in the song. So these Latinos start to get into the beat and begin to dance like Latinos. Then they really start to dance when Carlos plays a little solo on his PRS guitar. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty girls out there in the crowd. And Carlos starts to sing the end of the song. While Carlos delivers the ending solo. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this music video. plot. I'll definitely think of more or later on. Thank you.